Well, I could say, in fact I will, I'll go and get my computer in a minute. I'll read you a poem called The Child Left Behind, which is about that specifically.
Okay.
I'll get it now.
Yeah, don't.
Okay. I'll put this in my pocket.
Okay, it's in your pocket.
I'll be back in 1 second. This isn't it, but I'm going to read this out. I'm going to read this poem tomorrow afternoon when I'm at Herald Square. There's about 20 people, and they're saying keep it under 3 minutes when you do. So this is something I wrote in 2004, just before G.W. Bush's second term. It's called Why Cannot the Good Prevail? And I think I'm going to read it tomorrow. Why cannot the good prevail? Here in America, there is at heart a people just and true, open sometimes to the point of ridicule. Good neighbours to rebuild the barn, the doctor's note of Western legend carried forth beyond the grave. I knew your pa enough. In caucuses across the land, deliberate they'll always stand, defenders of the Rosenbergs, symbolic of that inner yearning to be better than before. They never will give up their brother to the grocer's cold machine, belt welts livid from the strong arm of the law. On campuses, in boardrooms, over giving thanks and pumpkin pie, on hustings in committee rooms, whenever tyrants loomed, we always held in our esteem the ones who hold on to the dream, unflinching, while the bullies pose and fiddle on the hill. Has commerce so reduced the free that, blinded like a tot, contaminated by the dog shit in the grass, we blunder, slaves to humbug and this Texan dynasty? No. Beyond the grip of trade, the young strain beautiful and proud, the hoarfrost breath of new blood needs but nudges from the old forgotten guard to scale the moral high grounds in the clouds.
Jesus.
That's one. Okay, but this is The Child Left Behind. That. Where is that? So this, I'll explain. This is actually, I started writing this poem having had a dream. It was just after I met my third wife, I think. Here we go. The Child Left Behind. In dreams I drove abandoned, reckless, left the dead Mercedes on the pile, content to later pay the price of youth, the child left behind. I walked with mother in the garden. The fat boy swung his thin cane at the fence. She claimed his talent lay beyond my ken, and, irritated that I could not understand, I disengaged myself from mother's arm and fled up narrow back stairs to my room. With tiger strides you followed me, determined then to make a stand, but through hot tears I would not turn, enjoyed the moment of pursuit, testing like a child to see if you would really stay with me. Waking then, you left the room for water and to snuff the candles out, and half asleep, I feared the worst. I could not move, I could not shout. At 6 o'clock I woke again. You stirred, your hand lay in my groin. I turned first this way and then that. You, sleeping, followed every move. You stuck like sunshine to a cat. And blue skies burst into the dawn, and linnets sang and skylarks soared, and like a hatching lapwing chick, I blinked and wondered at the scale of it, and smelled the sheep and flung my body through the waterfall where salmon rush in search of spawning grounds, and thrashed in the crushed clover of new love, bold, naked, stained, content, tan, strong, alive, and spent. And raised upon one elbow then, across the meadow and the fen, I saw a boy in khaki shorts and tartan shirt, who'd always thought that maybe, if he did his best, his dad would come home with the rest. And who, although he tried and tried, mother, for she had to work, not meaning though to be unkind, who mother often left behind. And that boy turned and caught my eye, and then across the field of time I saw him flick his fringe and grin and recognize the man within and raise his fist as if to say, we kept our faith, we stood our ground, we did our best, we kept his trust, our dad would have been proud of us. Then turning to the river bank, he put more bread paste on his hook and felt the mud between his toes and fixed the shot and set the float and settled there to watch and wait and muse and try some different bait, and proudly from another time I watched the child left behind.
Yes, that's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing.